Imagine you're sitting alone after a long day. The house is quiet, but your mind is full. You've done everything right, worked hard, cared for your family, followed the rules, but still, something feels incomplete. You ask yourself, why am I not truly happy? You've smiled for others, but deep inside, you carry a quiet weight. You've helped people, yet some days, you still feel unseen. You've collected so much through the years, but when you sit in silence, do you feel peace? Have you ever paused and thought, is this all life has to offer? You might wonder, why do I feel empty even when everything looks fine on the outside? Or ask yourself, how can I feel more joy without waiting for something good to happen first? These are not just questions. They're signs that your inner self is ready to discover something deeper. You are not alone in this. Many people walk through life wearing a smile, but holding sadness inside. Let's take a simple example. Think of a cup of water. If it's muddy, you can't drink it. But if you let it sit still, the dirt slowly settles and the water becomes clear. Our mind is just like that. When we don't stop and sit with ourselves, our worries mix into our thoughts, making everything cloudy. But when we give ourselves a moment, clarity begins to rise. That is the first quiet step toward happiness. Not in doing more, but in pausing and seeing clearly. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, a space where we gently explore the path to lasting happiness through the peaceful lens of Buddhist wisdom. Here, you won't find quick fixes or loud promises, just real, calm truths that have helped people for centuries. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So please like, share, and comment your thoughts. Let this space grow with your voice. Subscribe to join this journey. And firstly, comment Namo Buddha below to stay connected and energetic as we move forward. In this first step, let's begin to understand that happiness is not outside of us. It is a quiet strength waiting within. Buddhism teaches that peace does not arrive by chance. It grows when we become aware of the mind's habits and gently choose a new way. You've already taken the first step by being here. Let's walk further together. Imagine a quiet garden. In the garden, there are many flowers, but some are wilting. Some leaves have fallen to the ground. The garden, though beautiful, is not always perfect. It changes. It feels joy and sunshine, but also feels the weight of storms. Life, too, is like this garden. In Buddhism, the first truth we meet is the truth of suffering. This might sound heavy at first. Why start with suffering? Because it is honest. It is the root that grows beneath many feelings we try to ignore. Suffering is not just pain or sadness. It is the way our mind reacts to the changing world around us. When we lose someone we love, when our body grows old, when things we want are far away, this is suffering. But suffering does not only mean big troubles. It is also in small moments. The feeling of disappointment when things don't go as planned, the irritation when a friend misunderstands us, the loneliness in a busy room. All these are forms of suffering because they disturb our peace. The Buddha said suffering is part of life. It is like the shadow that follows every step we take. Many people run from suffering. They try to cover it with pleasure, distractions, or busyness. But no matter how fast or far we go, suffering stays close. Like a cloud, it moves but does not disappear. This is why true happiness cannot be found in outside things alone. It comes from learning how to see suffering clearly and not be controlled by it. Suffering teaches us. When we feel pain or loss, our heart becomes soft and open. We start to understand the deep value of kindness and patience. The Zen way does not fight suffering with anger or fear. Instead, it teaches us to meet suffering with gentle attention, to see it as a sign, a teacher whispering, look closer. See what is real. The mind often clings to things it loves and pushes away what it dislikes. This is natural, but this clinging creates suffering too. When a flower in the garden fades, the mind cries, I want it to stay beautiful. But beauty changes, and the mind suffers because it wants things to be different from what they are. If we observe closely, we see that suffering arises because of desire and attachment. Desire is the mind's hope for something more or something different. Attachment is when we hold tightly to people, objects, or ideas, afraid to lose them. This fear of loss causes a deep unrest. This is the second noble truth, but we will explore it later. For now, just know that suffering is tied to how we relate to the world. The garden changes with the seasons. So do our lives. The leaves fall, the flowers bloom, the wind blows. When we accept change, we lessen suffering. When we fight change, we create pain. This acceptance is not giving up. It is waking up to the truth. Sometimes, suffering feels like a dark night. It feels endless and cold. But just as dawn follows night, understanding follows suffering. When we do not run, but stay present with our pain, it changes. It softens. It becomes part of our path instead of a barrier. To live fully is to accept suffering as part of the journey. This acceptance is freedom. It allows us to move gently through life without breaking or losing hope. This is why the Buddha began his teaching with suffering, not to make us sad, but to help us see clearly. Suffering points the way to awakening. When we see suffering with clear eyes, we begin to open the door to peace. In your own life, you might notice small sufferings, moments of discomfort or sadness. Practice noticing them without judgment. Watch them like clouds passing in the sky. They come and go. They are not who you are. Remember, the garden still holds beauty, even when some flowers fade. Life still holds joy, even when some moments bring pain. Suffering is part of being human, but it does not have to control us. By seeing it clearly, we start to find freedom inside. This freedom is not far away. It is here, waiting in the simple act of watching, breathing, and being present. The moment you notice suffering without fear, you step toward peace. The mind is like water. When it is stirred, it is cloudy and hard to see through. When it settles, it becomes clear and calm. Suffering stirs the mind, but awareness settles it. With practice, the mind learns to stay calm even when storms come. This calm mind does not mean you never feel sadness or pain. It means you do not let those feelings sweep you away. You remain steady like a deep lake. As a Zen master, I invite you to sit quietly with your feelings today. Do not try to fix them. Just watch them with kindness. In this watching, the seed of happiness begins to grow. You may think, is this all? Accept suffering and be still. Yes, in this stillness, life changes. You discover a peace no trouble can take away. The garden and the mind are never perfect, but in their imperfection, they hold a strange beauty. Embrace this beauty. It is the doorway to true happiness. When you feel the urge to run from discomfort, breathe and remember, this moment, with all its difficulty, is the teacher. It shows you where to grow. Do not be afraid of suffering. It is a natural part of the journey. It is the first step toward awakening. The more we understand it, the less power it has over us. This understanding is gentle. It is not harsh or cruel. It invites us to be patient with ourselves and the world. Remember that even in suffering, life moves forward. Seasons change. Morning comes. Flowers bloom again. Your heart, too, will bloom when you allow yourself to see suffering clearly and without fear. Walk slowly. Breathe deeply. The path to happiness begins with truth, the truth of suffering. This is not a burden, but a gift. Because when you truly see suffering, you also begin to see the possibility of peace. So, keep your eyes open, your heart soft, and your mind clear. The garden is alive. The suffering is real. And the happiness you seek is already within you. Imagine a traveler on a long road. The traveler carries a heavy bag filled with many things. Some are precious, some are unnecessary, but the traveler cannot put the bag down. With every step, the weight pulls them down, tiring their body and clouding their mind. The traveler believes that each item in the bag is important, yet the burden grows heavier and the journey becomes difficult. This is much like how our mind carries craving and attachment. Craving is the desire for things to be different from what they are. We crave for comfort when we feel pain. We crave for success when we feel failure. We crave for love when we feel loneliness. This craving is natural, It arises in all beings. Yet, it is like a fire that burns inside, never fully satisfied. When one craving is fulfilled, another appears. This endless cycle can trap the mind, making peace seem far away. Attachment is the way we hold on tightly to people, things, ideas, and even ourselves. We cling to memories, to plans, to identities. We believe these attachments will protect us or bring us joy. But when we hold too tightly, we do not allow life to flow naturally. The very act of clinging causes suffering. It is as if the traveler clings to the heavy bag, refusing to set it down, even though letting go would bring ease. In Buddhism, craving and attachment are called tanha. Tanha is often translated as thirst, a deep, unquenchable thirst for pleasure, existence, or non-existence. This thirst pushes us to chase after things outside of ourselves. Money, status, approval, comfort, but the satisfaction never lasts. Like drinking salt water to quench thirst, it only makes us thirstier. Why is craving so powerful? Because it promises happiness, but delivers only temporary relief. When we get what we want, there is joy for a moment, but soon the feeling fades. Then the mind begins to crave again. This is the cycle of samsara, the endless turning of suffering, desire, and disappointment. It is a wheel that spins and traps us unless we learn how to step off. To understand this deeply, look inside your own life. Notice the moments when you wanted something so much that you felt restless or anxious. Maybe it was a new possession, or a certain recognition, or approval from someone. How long did that happiness last? And what happened when it passed? Often, we don't realize how craving shapes our thoughts and actions until we feel the discomfort it causes. Attachment also hides in many forms. Sometimes, it is attachment to our identity. I am this way, or I must be respected. Other times, it is attachment to the past, the way things used to be, or attachment to the future and what we hope will come. These attachments create walls in the mind, preventing us from fully living in the present moment. The traveler's heavy bag can also represent fears. Fear of loss, fear of change, fear of the unknown. These fears keep us clinging to what is familiar, even if it causes pain. We resist change because we believe that letting go means losing ourselves. But true freedom comes not from holding on, but from embracing change. In the Buddhist view, craving and attachment are the roots of dukkha, which means suffering, dissatisfaction, or stress. This suffering is not only physical pain, but the inner turmoil that disturbs peace. It is the feeling that something is missing, the restlessness that refuses to quiet down. Recognizing craving and attachment as the cause is the first step toward liberation. This understanding is not about blaming ourselves or feeling bad. It is about seeing clearly the nature of the mind. When a traveler recognizes that the bag is heavy and that holding it causes pain, there is a choice. One can choose to slowly open the bag and take out what is unnecessary to lighten the load. This process is gentle and patient, not forced or hurried. To let go of craving and attachment, the Zen master would say, look deeply into the nature of desire. Observe it without judgment. See how it rises and falls like waves on the ocean. When we watch craving with calm attention, we realize it is not a solid thing, but a passing feeling. Like clouds that cover the sky for a time and then move away, craving does not have to stay. The practice of mindfulness helps us see cravings as they arise. Instead of reacting automatically, we learn to pause and breathe. This pause creates space between stimulus and response. In that space, we can choose not to follow the craving blindly. We can choose peace instead of unrest. Attachment is more subtle because it often feels like security. We believe that holding on protects us from pain, but in reality, holding on tightly can cause more suffering. The Zen teaching often uses the example of holding a hot coal. If you hold it too tightly, your hand burns. If you let it go, the pain ends. Similarly, attachment burns the heart when it is too tight. Many people ask, if I let go of attachments, will I become cold or indifferent? The answer is no. Letting go is not about losing care or love. It is about freeing the heart to love without chains. When we are not attached, we can fully enjoy and appreciate life's moments without fear of losing them. Craving and attachment also create a false sense of self. When we identify with what we desire or cling to, we build a fragile ego that depends on external things for happiness. But this self is like a house built on sand, unstable and vulnerable. When the wind blows, the house shakes and falls. True happiness comes from a foundation within, from understanding the mind's nature. The traveler on the road can learn to travel lighter by practicing patience and kindness toward themselves. The journey is long and sometimes difficult, but every step toward releasing craving is a step toward freedom. Each moment of awareness, each choice to let go, makes the burden lighter. This does not mean we reject all desires. Some desires help us live and grow, like the desire for kindness, for truth, for health. The difference is in the quality of the desire. When it is free from grasping and clinging, desire can be a gentle guide rather than a harsh master. When the traveler learns to set down the heavy bag, they find space to breathe deeply, to notice the beauty around, to enjoy the journey itself. Life becomes less about chasing and more about being. Happiness is not a destination, but the freedom to walk the road with an open heart. The teachings say that craving is like a shadow. It grows bigger when we run after it, but fades when we face it directly. When you face craving with courage and compassion, it loses its power over you. So, the path to happiness asks us to look honestly at our cravings and attachments, to see how they bind us and cause suffering, to gently let go, one piece at a time, until the mind becomes clear like still water. Remember, this is a process, not a race. There is no need to force or judge. Just observe, understand, and allow change to happen naturally. Each small step brings more peace, more joy. The traveler is you. The heavy bag is the craving and attachment you carry. You have the power to set it down, to travel lighter, to walk free. Let's sit together for a moment and breathe deeply. In the stillness, listen to the soft rhythm of your breath. In this breath, there's a great teaching waiting for you. It is the teaching of letting go. In our lives, we often carry many things, thoughts, memories, worries, desires, even pain. These things become heavy burdens on our hearts. Like a traveler carrying a heavy sack, we move forward but feel weighed down. We look for happiness outside, hoping to fill the empty spaces within us. But true happiness does not come from holding on tightly. It comes from the art of letting go. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips away through your fingers. But if you open your hand gently, the sand stays, resting peacefully. Our minds work the same way. When we cling to anger, fear, or sadness, these feelings slip deeper into us. When we loosen our grip, a space opens, space for peace. Letting go is not forgetting. It is not ignoring what life has given us. It is not weakness. It is strength born from understanding. It means we accept what cannot be changed and release the need to control everything. It means we stop fighting against what is. In Buddhism, this is called non-attachment. It is the wisdom to see things as they are, always changing, never permanent. Everything in life flows like a river. We cannot hold the water, it moves on. When we understand this, we stop trying to trap life in our hands. Instead, we learn to flow with it. Every day, you can practice this. When a difficult thought arises, do not push it away or chase it. Instead, watch it gently, like a leaf floating on a stream. Notice it, then let it drift away. When feelings of anger or sadness come, recognize them without fear. Say to yourself, "This too shall pass." Then breathe and breathe again. Letting go also means forgiving, not just others but ourselves. We carry mistakes and regrets like chains. But these chains do not protect us. They hold us captive. Forgiveness frees the heart. It is a gift you give yourself. When you forgive, you open the door to healing. Sometimes we hold on because we believe letting go means losing something important. But the truth is, Clinging only creates suffering. Like holding a thorn tightly, expecting it to bring comfort, we cause ourselves pain. Letting go means choosing peace over pain, freedom over fear. In this way, every moment becomes a chance to practice letting go. When you feel anxious about the future, let go of worries that have no answers yet. When you feel hurt by the past, release the burden it places on your present. When you feel lost in the noise of your mind, let go of the need to control every thought. Imagine your mind as the sky. Clouds come and go, sometimes dark, sometimes light, but the sky remains vast and clear. When you let go, you become like the sky, wide, open, free. This does not mean life will be without challenges. Storms may come, but when your heart is free, storms cannot break you. You learn to bend like a bamboo in the wind, strong and flexible. Practice this art gently. Be patient with yourself. Sometimes letting go will feel like stepping into the unknown. This is natural. Trust in your breath, in this moment, and in your ability to find peace. When you practice letting go, you will notice a change. Your mind will become calmer, your heart lighter. You will find joy in simple things, a smile, a breath, a quiet moment. You will no longer chase happiness because you will see it already lives inside you. Remember, letting go is a daily practice like watering a plant. The more you nurture it, the stronger your peace will grow. It is not a one-time event, but a gentle unfolding. In your daily life, you may find attachments in many forms. It could be to possessions, habits, or even ideas about yourself. Notice these attachments without judgment. Slowly, allow yourself to release them. You might wonder, what will remain if I let go of everything? What remains is your true self, calm, clear, and free. Like the calm water beneath the waves, your essence stays peaceful no matter what happens on the surface. When you begin to live with less attachment, you open space for kindness, compassion, and joy. These are the true treasures of life. They cannot be bought or sold. They are gifts from a heart that knows freedom. Letting go also means trusting life itself. Trust that every moment brings what you need. Trust that you have within you the strength to face whatever comes. Trust that by releasing, you do not lose but gain. As you walk this path, you will find that happiness is not a distant goal, but a way of being. It is the gentle smile of a mind at ease. It is the quiet confidence of a heart that has let go. So breathe deeply now. Feel the freedom that comes with each breath. Let go of tension, worries, and fear. Open your heart to the present moment. Here, now, happiness awaits you. This is the gift of letting go. Imagine, for a moment, that your eyes are no longer seeing the world as you once did. Not because the world has changed, but because you have begun to see with new eyes. Clear eyes. Eyes that look deeply without judgment, without expectation. This is the heart of what Buddhism calls right view. Right view is the first step on the path to freedom. It is not some complicated idea or distant philosophy. It is simply seeing things as they are, without the clouds of confusion that cover the truth. When we see clearly, our minds stop struggling against what is. We begin to understand the nature of our own thoughts, feelings, and the world around us. Life often seems to pull us in many directions. We chase after things, hoping they will bring us happiness, wealth, success, approval. Yet these things come and go like the wind. If we place our happiness in these fleeting things, we are bound to be disappointed. Right view helps us to see this clearly, to understand the true nature of happiness. When we see with right view, we understand that all things are connected and constantly changing. Nothing stays the same. Our bodies grow older, our thoughts shift like the seasons, and the people we love change too. Holding on tightly to what we wish to keep only causes pain. This is why suffering arises in life. But right view is not about feeling sad or hopeless. It is the gentle realization that clinging to what changes is the root of our suffering. And when we recognize this, we are free to let go. Freedom begins when we no longer fight what is, but embrace it with calm acceptance. Think of a river flowing. The water never stays in one place. If the river tried to hold on to a single drop, it would break apart. But the river flows smoothly when it allows the water to move naturally. Our minds can be like this river. When we stop grasping and resisting, we find peace in the flow of life. Right view also means seeing ourselves clearly. Often, we live with illusions about who we are. We believe that our identity is fixed and separate from the world. Buddhism teaches that this is not true. We are part of a larger whole, connected to everything around us. Understanding this connection softens the walls we build around our hearts. When we see ourselves as part of this whole, kindness and compassion naturally grow. We no longer see others as obstacles or threats. Instead, we recognize their suffering as our own. This understanding brings a deep peace that no external success can offer. Another important aspect of right view is understanding the law of cause and effect, karma. Every action we take plants a seed. Good actions bring happiness. Harmful actions bring suffering. This is not punishment, but a natural consequence, like planting a seed and waiting for it to grow. When we see this clearly, we become more mindful of our choices. Mindfulness and right view walk hand in hand. As we watch our thoughts and actions with gentle attention, we see patterns that cause suffering. Maybe it is anger, jealousy, or fear. These feelings arise because we misunderstand ourselves or the world. Right view shines a light on these misunderstandings. With this light, we begin to change, not through force or guilt, but through awareness. We learn to replace harmful habits with kindness and patience. We learn that true happiness does not come from outside, but from inside. A calm, clear mind that sees things as they are. In daily life, practicing right view can be simple but profound. When something difficult happens, instead of reacting with frustration or anger, we pause and ask ourselves, what is the truth here? What is really happening? We remind ourselves that feelings come and go, that this too shall pass. This pause creates space. Space to respond with wisdom rather than react with old habits. Over time, this practice brings freedom from suffering. The storms of life no longer toss us around like a leaf in the wind. Instead, we become like a sturdy tree, rooted deeply in understanding. Remember, right view is not something to achieve once and forget. It is a daily practice. Each moment offers a new chance to see clearly, to let go of illusions, to choose peace. As a Zen master might say, when a mind is clear, the path appears. When we clear away the fog of misunderstanding, we see the path to happiness is always here. It is not somewhere in the future, not in some far place, but in the present moment, in how we choose to see and be. So, walk gently with your mind. Observe without judgment. Accept without resistance. Let right view guide you like a lantern in the night. It will show you the way out of confusion and into calm joy. In this way, happiness is not something to chase. It is a natural state that arises when we see life with clear eyes, open hearts, and a peaceful mind. Imagine sitting quietly under a tree. The breeze is soft, the sun warms your face, and your breath flows gently in and out. This moment, right now, is all there is. Nothing more, nothing less. This is mindfulness, the art of being fully present with what is. Not caught in the past, not lost in the future, but awake to the now. Many people think happiness comes from changing the outside world, getting what they want, avoiding what they don't. But the truth is simpler, yet deeper. Happiness grows when a mind is steady, calm, and fully aware. When your mind is here, fully present, life feels lighter. Problems don't disappear, but they don't weigh as heavily on you either. Being mindful means watching your thoughts and feelings like a quiet observer. When anger rises, you notice it. When fear knocks, you see it. You don't fight or push these feelings away. Instead, you welcome them gently like old friends who have come to visit. In that welcome, their power fades. They no longer control you. This is the beginning of true freedom. Our minds are like wild horses, rushing toward many directions. Mindfulness is the gentle hand that guides the horse back to the path. It is the calm center in the storm of thoughts. When you practice being present, You create a space between what happens outside and how you react inside. In this space, you find peace. Some days, sitting quietly and being mindful can feel hard. Your mind may jump like a monkey from one thought to another. That is normal. The practice is not about stopping your thoughts completely, but about gently bringing your attention back again and again. Each time you do, your mind grows stronger and calmer. You can practice mindfulness in many ways. It might be as simple as paying attention to your breathing. Feel the air entering your nose, filling your lungs, and slowly leaving your body. Or you can focus on the sensations in your feet as they touch the ground. Even washing dishes or walking slowly could be mindfulness if you bring your full attention to it. This simple awareness helps you notice the small joys of life. The warmth of sunlight, the softness of a breeze, the taste of your food. Often, we rush so fast that these moments pass by unnoticed. When you slow down and pay attention, life becomes richer and more beautiful. Buddhism teaches that suffering comes from craving and clinging to things that are always changing. But when you're mindful, you see clearly how everything flows and changes all the time. This awareness helps you let go of worries about holding on too tightly. You learn to rest peacefully in the present, knowing that each moment is enough. Mindfulness also helps you understand your feelings deeply. Sometimes, when sadness or pain arises, your first reaction might be to run away from it. But if you allow yourself to sit with these feelings gently, without judgment, they begin to soften. You learn that feelings come and go like clouds in the sky. They do not stay forever. In this way, mindfulness is not just about quiet moments. It is a powerful tool that helps you face life's challenges with courage and grace. When you are present, you can respond to difficulties wisely, instead of reacting with fear or anger. This creates more peace inside and better harmony in your relationships. Remember, the mind is like water. When it is still, it reflects clearly. When it is stirred up, it becomes muddy. Mindfulness helps settle the water so that you can see your true self clearly without distortion. This clarity brings deep happiness beyond what material things can offer. You might wonder, how long do I need to practice mindfulness? The answer is simple. Just as you brush your teeth every day, try to be mindful every day. Even a few minutes of quiet awareness can change your whole day. Over time, this grows into a steady habit that supports your happiness and peace. Mindfulness is a path that does not rush. It invites patience and kindness toward yourself. Sometimes, you may feel frustrated because your mind wanders or because life feels difficult. But each step you take in awareness is a step toward freedom. Trust the process and be gentle with your journey. As you become more mindful, you begin to see the deep connection between all things. You notice how your breath links you to the earth, how your heart beats in rhythm with the world around you. This feeling of connectedness brings warmth and compassion, both for yourself and others. In moments of mindfulness, you find a stillness that no one can take away. No matter what is happening outside, you carry this calm within. It becomes a refuge, a place to rest when the world feels too heavy. This inner stability is the foundation for lasting happiness. The practice of mindfulness is not complicated. It only asks you to be present, right here, right now. When you live with this awareness, life opens up in new ways. Simple tasks become meaningful, ordinary moments become sacred, and your heart grows lighter. You may ask, how do I start? Begin by noticing your breath. Take a few slow, deep breaths right now. Feel the air as it comes in and as it goes out. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back. This is mindfulness. You can also bring mindfulness to your daily routine. When you eat, really taste your food. When you walk, feel each step. When you speak, listen carefully to your words. These small acts help anchor you in the present moment. Mindfulness is a gift you give yourself. It helps you discover that happiness is not somewhere far away. It is here, inside your own heart, waiting patiently to be known. The path of mindfulness is open to everyone, no matter your age or background. It asks only for your willingness to be present. Each moment you choose awareness, You strengthen your mind and deepen your peace. When you practice mindfulness, life becomes clearer and more gentle. You begin to see the beauty in each day, even in challenges. You learn to trust yourself and the flow of life. So, take a deep breath and step into the present. This moment is your home. Mindfulness is your guide. Walk gently, live fully, and know that peace is already within you. When we speak of happiness, many think it is something we get by ourselves, something we find alone inside our own mind. But true happiness often grows not from the seed of I, but from the openness of we. Compassion is the doorway to this deeper joy. It is the gentle art of opening your heart to others. And through this opening, you discover a connection that nourishes your spirit. Imagine your heart is like a small room. When it's closed tight, the room feels small, cramped, and lonely. But when you open the door, even just a little fresh air flows in. The walls no longer seem to trap you. Compassion is like that open door. It lets warmth and light come in, not only for others, but for yourself. When you give kindness, you also receive kindness. This is the quiet power of connection. Sometimes when we suffer, it feels like we are alone in a dark forest. No one sees our pain. But compassion teaches us something beautiful. Everyone is walking through their own forest, carrying their own burdens. When you open your heart to the struggles of others, you find you are not alone. Your pain becomes part of a larger human story. This understanding brings a deep peace. In Buddhism, the idea of compassion is called karuna. It is more than feeling sorry for someone. It is a wish to ease the suffering of others, a gentle action from a heart. This is not about grand gestures or heroic deeds. Often, compassion is found in small acts: a smile to a stranger, listening without judgment, offering help without expecting thanks. By practicing compassion, you begin to see the world in a new way. People who once seemed distant or different start to feel close, part of your own life. This breaks down walls built by fear or misunderstanding. When your heart feels connected, your own worries become lighter. Joy flows naturally from this bond. But compassion is not just outward. It must also turn inward. Many of us carry harsh words for ourselves inside. We are quick to judge, to blame, to feel unworthy. True compassion asks you to be as kind to yourself as you would be to a dear friend. If you stumble, if you feel pain, treat yourself gently. This soft kindness heals old wounds and opens your heart wider. There's a story in Zen that tells of a monk who carried a heavy burden on his back, a sack full of stones. Every day, he struggled to carry it, growing tired and sad. One day, a fellow monk asked, "Why do you carry this weight?" The first monk replied, "I carry it for others so they do not have to." The second monk smiled and said, "You must also lay down your burden sometimes so you can walk beside others freely." This story teaches us that compassion does not mean carrying all the pain alone. It means sharing the load and knowing when to rest. When you open your heart with compassion, you build a deep connection with life itself. This connection is the ground where happiness grows. It is not a fleeting feeling, but a steady light that warms your days. It softens your thoughts and fills your actions with meaning. It is natural to fear opening your heart. To care deeply means you might face pain or disappointment. But the path of compassion is also the path of courage. It takes bravery to be soft in a hard world. When you choose to act from kindness, even when it is difficult, you are walking the way of the Buddha. Remember, the heart is like a garden. If you plant seeds of anger, fear, or hatred, these will grow wild and choke your joy. But if you plant seeds of compassion, understanding, and love, the garden will bloom with peace. This garden needs care every day, through your thoughts, words, and actions. One simple way to nurture compassion is through mindful listening. When someone speaks, listen fully without planning your answer or judging. Feel their words as if they were your own. This act alone can ease suffering. It tells others, you are seen, you are heard, you matter. Sometimes compassion means being present with someone's pain without trying to fix it. We often rush to solve problems, but true compassion is patience. It accepts the other's experience without rushing away or turning away. When you practice compassion in your daily life, you create ripples. One kind word or act can inspire another, spreading like gentle waves. This ripple effect touches many lives in ways you may never see but can always trust. In the end, happiness is not just a personal treasure. It is a shared gift. The more you connect your heart to others, the more it grows. Compassion weaves invisible threads between people, creating a fabric of love that holds us all. As you move forward, ask yourself, how can I open my heart today? How can I soften my mind to others' suffering? How can I be gentle with myself? These simple questions guide you on the path. In quiet moments, take a breath and feel your heart expand. Imagine your kindness spreading out like light, touching those near and far. This is the joy of connection. This is the peace of compassion. The world may often seem harsh and cold, but your heart has the power to bring warmth. When you choose compassion, you become a beacon for others, lighting their way and your own. Walk gently, speak kindly, and live with an open heart. The path of compassion is the path to lasting joy, and this joy is always within your reach. Imagine a world filled with noise, cars rushing, phones ringing, voices shouting, and your mind feels like it is caught in the middle of a storm. You try to find calm, but the chaos follows you everywhere. It is easy to believe that peace is far away, somewhere outside your reach. But I tell you, peace is not a distant place. It lives within you, waiting patiently for you to notice it. In the teachings of the Buddha, simplicity is not just about having fewer things. It is about freeing your heart and mind from the clutter that clouds your vision. When your life is simple, your mind becomes light like the clear sky after rain. You see things clearly. You do not carry the weight of unnecessary worries or desires. The Buddha teaches that suffering often comes when we hold on too tightly to many things, too many thoughts, too many wants, too many distractions. Let me share a story. There was once a student who came to a master, complaining about his busy life. "Master," he said, "my days are full. I have so many things to do, so many thoughts racing in my head. How can I find peace?" The master took the student to a small garden. There, the master picked a leaf from a tree and dropped it into a pond. At first, the water rippled everywhere, disturbed by the leaf. But then, slowly, the ripples faded. The water became still again. "Your mind is like this pond," the master said. "When you stop holding on to so much, the ripples disappear and peace returns. Silence is the soil in which peace grows. But silence is not just the absence of sound. It is the quieting of the mind's endless chatter. When you learn to be silent inside, you begin to hear the soft whisper of your true self. This is where joy and calm reside, untouched by the noisy world. Many people think silence is empty, lonely, or even frightening. But it is the opposite. Silence is full of life. It is the space where your heart can breathe freely. When you practice silence, you discover your own natural rhythm. You learn to listen deeply, not just to the world around you, but to the feelings within you. You find a friend in yourself. In our modern world, it is easy to fill every moment with noise, screens, and endless tasks. We run, hurry, and try to keep up. But the more you fill your life with distractions, the more your mind becomes restless. It is like trying to carry water in a basket. No matter how hard you try, it slips away. The Buddha invites us to slow down, to choose simplicity, and to welcome silence. You might wonder, how do I find simplicity and silence in a busy life? Begin with small steps. Choose one moment each day to be fully present. It could be as simple as sitting quietly for 5 minutes, watching your breath come and go. Do not rush or judge yourself. Just be. Feel the air enter your body. Feel your heart beat gently. Notice the sounds around you without holding on to them. As you practice this, you begin to see how much of your day is spent on autopilot, filled with noise you do not even notice. You will find moments where silence naturally comes, a quiet morning, a walk in nature, the calm before sleep. These moments become precious gifts. You begin to crave less noise and more stillness. Simplicity also means choosing what truly matters. It means letting go of things that do not serve your peace. This might be busy schedules, worries about the future, or attachments to things that cause suffering. When you let go, you create space for happiness to grow. The Buddha said that when the mind is free from clutter, it shines with clarity and kindness. Remember, simplicity is not about doing less because you are weak. It is about doing less so your spirit can grow strong. When your life is simple, you have more energy for what matters most: love, kindness, and understanding. You see people and situations with gentle eyes, not clouded by stress or confusion. There is a deep wisdom in living simply. It allows you to enjoy the present moment without rushing to the next. You notice the beauty in small things, the way sunlight falls on a leaf, the sound of birds singing, the warmth of a smile. This is the heart of peace. Silence and simplicity work together. Silence invites the mind to rest. Simplicity clears the way for silence to enter. Together, they create a strong foundation for happiness that does not depend on outside conditions. In moments of silence, you might feel discomfort or fear because you are not used to being alone with your thoughts. This is natural. The Buddha teaches us to meet these feelings with kindness. When fear arises, do not push it away. Observe it gently, like watching clouds float across the sky. You will see that fear is temporary. It comes and goes like all things. As you deepen your practice of simplicity and silence, you will notice your relationships change too. When your mind is quiet, you listen more deeply to others. You respond with calm instead of reacting with anger or worry. This creates peace not only inside you, but also around you. The path of simplicity is also a path of gratitude. When you slow down and clear your mind, you begin to see how much you already have. You appreciate the food you eat, the air you breathe, the kindness in a friend's smile. Gratitude opens the door to happiness because it turns your attention away from what is missing to what is present. The Buddha said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." The noisy world may try to pull your attention away, but you have the power to choose silence and simplicity every day. This is not a one-time act, but a gentle, ongoing practice. Each moment you return to calm, you strengthen your peace. So, do not be afraid to step back from the noise. Do not be afraid to say no to things that steal your energy. Embrace the quiet. Cherish the simple. In these small acts, you plant the seeds of deep happiness. If you feel overwhelmed, remember the leaf in the pond. Your mind may ripple and churn, but if you allow stillness to settle, peace will return. Trust the process. Trust yourself. This is the wisdom of the ages. Stillness is never empty. It is always full. Simplicity is not loss. It is gain. The Buddha's gentle teaching reminds us, happiness is not found by chasing after more, but by learning to be content with less. Walk this path gently. Let your steps be soft like a quiet breeze. When the world feels too loud, come back to your breath, your silence, your simple being. This is your true home. Here, happiness is not a distant dream. It is your natural state. Sit down gently. Let the breath slow. Let the noise of the world fall behind you like ripples fading across still water. Today we speak of something very simple, yet very deep: karma. When people hear the word karma, they often think of punishment or reward. Do good, get good. Do bad, get bad. But karma is not a rule of punishment. It is not a system of judgment from the sky. Karma simply means action. In every action, whether in your body, your words, or even your thoughts, carries a seed. That seed falls into the soil of your life, and over time, it grows. That's it. So simple, yet so powerful. We are planting seeds every moment. When you speak kindly to someone who is hurting, you plant a seed of peace. When you speak harshly out of anger, you plant a seed of conflict. When you carry resentment, you carry a heavy seed that grows into suffering. But when you choose patience, you plant a seed of calm. The question is not, will the seed grow? The question is, what am I planting? In your younger years, you may have thought that life just happens to you, that people, fate, or luck are in control. But as we age, as we sit more with our thoughts, we begin to see that we are not just passengers, we are gardeners. We may not control the weather, but we choose what we plant, and we choose how we care for it. You might say, but what about the pain I never asked for? What about the loss I never deserved? Yes, that is real. Life does bring pain that we didn't plant. The winds of life can be harsh. Illness, betrayal, death, they visit every home. But even in those moments, we still have a choice. We may not choose the storm, but we choose how we stand in the rain. Karma is not a prison. It's not saying, you deserve this. It's saying, you have power now. If you're angry today, you can feed it, or you can sit quietly with it. If you're hurt, you can pass that hurt to someone else, or you can meet it with understanding. Each choice becomes a new seed. So ask yourself gently, what seeds am I planting in my mind each day? If you often say to yourself, I'm not good enough, that's a seed. It grows roots. If you say, life is always against me, that too takes root. But if you say, I may struggle, but I can grow, then peace will begin to rise inside like a quiet sunrise. Not loud, but sure. Many people live as if karma is something that comes later. But the truth is, it begins now. The moment you choose calm over anger, patience over panic, stillness over rush, that is karma in action. You begin to change your inner world, and soon your outer world changes too. And karma is not only about you. It flows into others. When you are kind to someone, that energy touches their heart, and they may carry it forward. A gentle word at the right time can stop a war inside someone. A harsh word can start one. This is how powerful you are. You may think you're just one person, but your choices echo through many lives. People often ask, is my past karma too heavy? Can I ever escape it? Yes, you can. The past is like footprints in the sand. They show where you have walked, but they do not decide where you go next. What matters is where your next step falls. If you choose mindfulness now, if you choose love now, if you choose honesty now, then even the heaviest past begins to lose its grip. But be patient. A seed takes time. You may begin to choose peace today and still find your mind restless. That is natural. The old seeds are still blooming. But don't stop. Keep planting. Keep watering. One day, your garden will be full of calm. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Also remember, karma is not just personal. It is shared. We create collective karma as families, as communities, as humanity. If we keep shouting, hurting, and chasing, the world grows tired and harsh. But if more people choose stillness, gentleness, truth, then the world begins to soften. It begins to breathe again. And what about forgiveness? Many people ask, if someone hurt me, does karma mean they will be punished? Let go of that question. That is not your work. Their path is theirs. But your freedom lies in this. You can choose not to carry that pain forever. You can forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Let that be your karma. Release what you do not need and rise lighter. Sometimes people say, but Zen Master, I'm too old to change now. No, that is not true. Karma does not care about age. It only responds to now. Even in your last breath, a kind thought can bring light. A soft smile can bring peace. One loving word can heal a wound. Never underestimate the power of a single choice. So, today, as you sit quietly, ask yourself, not with judgment, but with curiosity, what choices am I making? Where am I planting my attention? What kind of person am I becoming, one breath at a time? The great gift of this life is that we are not stuck. No matter how deep our suffering, how long our anger, how old our pain, we can always begin again. We can always choose a new seed. Let karma not be a word of fear, but a reminder of your quiet strength. Your choices matter. Your words matter. Your thoughts matter. And they always have. Now breathe slowly. Just sit and know that you are enough to create peace. Not by fighting, not by forcing, but by choosing, moment by moment, a better seed. Let this be your quiet revolution. Let this be your freedom. Now listen carefully. The path to lasting happiness is not something found in faraway places or in grand events. It is not waiting for luck, wealth, or others to change. It is something you build every day, step by step, like planting a garden. You may not see the flowers bloom right away, but with patience, care, and consistent effort, the garden will grow beautiful. True happiness grows from the habits we create. It is like water flowing gently but surely, shaping the stones over time. You cannot rush this river, nor force it. You must learn to walk with it, to listen to its quiet voice. That is why a practice is important, a daily way to train your mind and heart. Many people think practice means hours of sitting still or reading many books. But the deepest practice is simple. It is about returning to yourself again and again. Each morning, you can take a moment to breathe deeply and set an intention for your day. Tell yourself, today, I will be kind to myself and others. I will notice when my mind wanders and gently bring it back. This small act is powerful. When you do it daily, you remind yourself that happiness is not something outside. It is the peace inside you. When troubles come, as they always will, your practice helps you face them without losing your calm. You learn to see difficulties as lessons, not punishments. This change in view softens your heart. Remember, your mind is like a garden. If you plant seeds of anger, jealousy, or fear, they will grow weeds. But if you plant seeds of kindness, patience, and gratitude, beautiful flowers will bloom. The practice is the watering of these good seeds. It is simple, but it must be consistent. In Buddhism, the path forward is often called the Eightfold Path. This may sound complex, but in essence, it means living wisely, kindly, and mindfully. It means choosing your thoughts and actions with care, understanding the impact they have on you and others. When you practice this way, you begin to live in harmony with yourself and the world. A key part of the path is mindfulness, being fully present in each moment. When you wash the dishes, feel the warm water on your hands. When you walk, notice the ground beneath your feet. When you talk to someone, listen deeply. Mindfulness is not only about meditation on a cushion. It is about bringing gentle awareness into every part of your day. As your practice deepens, you will notice your mind becomes clearer and calmer. You will find joy in simple things, a smile, a breath of fresh air, a kind word. Happiness will no longer be tied to special events or material things. Instead, it will live quietly in your heart. But do not expect the path to be perfect or easy. Sometimes, your mind will wander far. Sometimes, old habits will return. This is natural. Like a child learning to walk, you will stumble. What matters is not never falling, but always rising again. Each time you come back to your practice, you build strength. Another important part of the path is compassion. This means being kind not only to others, but also to yourself. Too often, we judge ourselves harshly. We focus on what we did wrong or what we don't have. But compassion teaches us to accept ourselves fully, with all our flaws and struggles. When you treat yourself with kindness, you create space for healing and growth. Compassion also helps us connect with others. When you understand your own pain, you become more open to the pain of others. This connection is the root of true happiness. It reminds us that we are not alone, even in difficult times. In your daily life, you can build this connection by small acts, smiling at a stranger, listening without interrupting, helping someone in need. These acts may seem small, but they are the threads that weave a strong fabric of joy and peace around you. The path forward is not a race. It is not about reaching a final destination. It is a lifelong journey of learning and growing. Each day brings new opportunities to practice patience, kindness, and mindfulness. Each moment is a chance to choose peace over worry, joy over fear. You may ask, how will I know I am on the right path? The answer is simple. When you feel more calm, more connected, and more kind, you are moving forward. When you see yourself reacting less with anger and more with understanding, you are growing. Do not compare your journey with others. Each path is unique. What matters is your willingness to keep walking, even when the way is unclear. The very act of showing up for yourself is a great victory. In this way, happiness is not a prize to win or a place to reach. It is the quiet light that grows inside you when you choose to live with awareness and love. It is the calm in your breath, the warmth in your heart, and the gentle smile you offer to the world. So begin where you are. Take one small step today. Breathe. Notice. Choose kindness. This is your practice. This is your path. And with every step, happiness will grow, quietly but surely. Remember, the journey is long, but you are not alone. The wisdom of many has traveled this road before you. Their teachings are like lanterns lighting your way. Trust the path, trust yourself, and keep walking with an open heart. In time, you will see that the happiness you seek was never far away. It was inside you all along, waiting patiently to be discovered. Imagine you have traveled a long road. At first, you walked without knowing where you were going. You were searching for something bright and far away. But now, after all this time, you see that the journey itself is the place. The path you have walked, the lessons you have learned, and the quiet moments you have found. These are your home. In life, many seek happiness as if it is a distant treasure. They look outside themselves, hoping to find it in things, in people, or in places. But true happiness is not something you find. It is something you live. It grows quietly inside, like a seed that opens to the sun. When you care for it gently, without rushing or forcing, it blooms in its own time. The teachings we have explored together remind us of this simple truth. Happiness is not the opposite of pain or struggle. It is a way of being that accepts all of life, the good, the hard, the simple, and the complex. When you stop fighting what is and begin to see clearly, your heart can open. This openness is freedom. This freedom is peace. You have learned about letting go, how holding too tightly causes suffering. When you release what no longer serves you, you create space. Space for kindness, for understanding, for joy. You have seen that your mind can wander into fear or regret, but you can gently guide it back to the present moment. There in the now, life is always unfolding with new possibilities. As a Zen master, I tell you this: do not rush to arrive. There is no finish line to happiness. It is not a prize to win or a goal to reach. It is the simple act of waking up each day, breathing, and choosing to be present with what is. When you do this, your life becomes a dance of small, beautiful moments. A smile from a stranger, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of birds in the morning. These are the treasures you carry. You have also learned the power of compassion. Compassion begins with yourself. It means being gentle when you fail, patient when you struggle, and kind when you feel lost. From this place of self-care, compassion naturally grows toward others. It connects you to the world in a way that brings deep joy. We are not separate from each other. Our hearts beat together like one. Now, as you close this chapter, remember that the path is never finished. Each day invites you to begin again. If you stumble, you can rise. If you forget, you can remember. The teachings of Buddhism are like a lantern, a light to help you see when the way is dark. But the walking, the living, and the feeling are always yours to do. Before you go, take a moment to look inside. What do you see? Maybe a quiet peace, maybe a little more understanding, or maybe a question still waiting. That is good. The question itself is a sign of life, of curiosity, and of the heart opening. Carry it gently. Let it guide you like a soft breeze. This channel, Wisdom Woven, is a place where we share these gentle truths. Many have found comfort here, and many will come after you. If you have traveled with us through these words, I thank you. Your presence is a gift. If you feel moved, please like, comment, and share your thoughts. Your voice helps others find this peaceful way. And most importantly, please subscribe so we can continue this journey together. Remember to comment, Namo Buddha, to keep your energy bright and your heart open. Together, we weave wisdom into the fabric of life. As a final thought, I invite you to live simply, love deeply, and be present. The rest will follow. When you practice these things, happiness is no longer something you chase. It becomes the ground beneath your feet and the sky above your head. May your days be peaceful. May your heart be light. And may your path be clear. Now take a slow breath. Feel it fill your chest. Feel it leave your body. Let your shoulders fall just a little. Let your face soften. There is no need to rush. There is nowhere else you need to be right now. You have arrived in this moment. The path we have walked together has not been fast, but it has been real. And sometimes, real is what we need most. You see, life is not about being loud. It is not about always being seen or known. True peace does not scream, it whispers. It sits beside you in silence, like a quiet friend who simply understands. As a Zen master, I tell you, the world outside is always changing. The world inside, that is where stillness waits. People will come and go. Circumstances will rise and fall. Bodies will age. Memories will fade. But the essence of who you are, the calm awareness beneath the noise, remains untouched. This is the part of you that never grows old. And this is where your happiness lies. You do not need to earn peace. You do not need to chase it. You simply need to remember it. Like remembering your own name, or the smell of the rain, or the feel of your mother's hands. It was always there. You had simply forgotten. Many people ask me, Master, how do I stay happy forever? I always smile and say, you cannot, but you can be present forever. And when you are fully present, happiness arises like a flower blooming in sunlight. Not because you forced it, but because you stopped blocking it. You're not here to be perfect. You are here to be awake. This awakening is not something strange or magical. It is very ordinary. It is as simple as drinking tea with full attention, as real as watching the sky and letting it be, as kind as offering someone your smile, expecting nothing in return. If your heart feels heavy today, do not run. Sit with it. Talk to it. Breathe with it. It is only asking to be seen. We are so used to turning away from our sadness, our fear, our worry. But in turning toward them gently, something beautiful happens. They soften. They loosen. And then, one day they leave. When you sit quietly and breathe, you are practicing the deepest wisdom. You are saying to the world, I am here. Not in the past. Not in the future. Here. Alive. Awake. Whole. Let me share something I learned from watching a leaf fall from a tree. It does not cry. It does not struggle. It simply lets go and rides the wind. Where it lands does not matter. It trusts the wind to take it. You too can let go. Trust the unfolding of your life. Even when you are uncertain, your path continues. Even when you cannot see the way forward, your feet can still move. Happiness is not always light and joy. Sometimes, happiness is just knowing you are enough, even in your quietest moment. Many people think Buddhism is about escaping the world, but it is not. It is about entering it fully, eyes open, heart open, without fear, without holding back. You do not need to run from your pain to be happy. You only need to meet it with stillness and love. This is why I tell you, slow down. Eat your food slowly. Listen when someone speaks. Look at the sky for no reason. Touch the earth with your bare hands. Feel the wind on your cheek and say, thank you. This is the way of a peaceful life. This is the rhythm of the present moment. Do not measure your life by how much you have. Measure it by how much you notice. A happy life is not full of things. It is full of presence, full of breath, full of wonder. This is something no one can give you and no one can take away. You have walked far on this journey. Some of you started with questions, some with pain, some with curiosity, and now you have something rare, awareness. You have seen that the world may not change quickly, but you can. Your thoughts can shift. Your habits can soften. Your heart can open. And when you live this way, you become light for others. Not by teaching, not by preaching, but simply by being. A peaceful presence is like a candle. It does not force light on anyone, but it helps others find their own. So now, dear listener, breathe again. Not to do something, not to fix anything. Just breathe and be. You're not broken. You're not behind. You are simply human, and that is more than enough. As this final part of our journey comes to a close, I do not say goodbye. In the Zen way, there is no end, only continuation, only deepening. And so, I bow to you, not because you are a student, but because you are a reflection of life itself. I bow to your journey, to your honesty, to your courage, to your heart, which dares to love again, even after being hurt. Before we finish, let me leave you with a very old, very quiet truth. When you realize nothing is lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Please remember that, in times of joy and in times of sadness. And one last time, I gently invite you, like this video, comment your thoughts below, share this peaceful space with someone who may need it. And if you have found even a moment of clarity here, please subscribe to Wisdom Woven. This channel grows with your energy. It is a garden we water together. And please, if your heart feels ready, drop a comment that says Namo Buddha, not just as a ritual, but as a sign of awakening, a sign of presence, a sign that you are walking this path with grace. Wherever life takes you next, carry this peace in your breath. Speak kindly, listen deeply, and when life feels too heavy, pause. Breathe, and remember, you're already home. The silence knows, the heart remembers, and the path continues.